You have exactly 5 minutes to know whether your future is one of absolute financial freedom or a crushing burden. Most people treat retirement like a distant destination, a vague concept that only matters when they hit 60. But here's the brutal truth. If you think retirement is a problem for 20 years from now, that exact mindset is the reason why you will end up with nothing. We are not talking about saving for a rainy day here. We're talking about the difference between living on your own terms and begging the government for a monthly check just to keep the lights on. It's not about how much you make, it's about the silent, invisible gap between what you think you need to survive and what you actually have. Right now, there is a massive divide in society. On one side, you have people who treat their finances like a game of strategy, where every dollar is a soldier fighting for their future. On the other side, you have the vast majority, people running on a treadmill, burning out, and waking up at 55 to realize they have no runway left. The most dangerous lie you've ever been told is that time is on your side. Time is only an asset if you know how to use it. If you don't, time is your greatest enemy. In this video, I'm going to hold a mirror up to your bank account. We are going to audit your financial life across 5 specific levels. You will see exactly where you stand, why you are stuck, and more importantly, what the math actually says about your path ahead. Grab a piece of paper, or better yet, open the audit tool I've linked below. It is time to face the numbers. Let's begin. Before we dive into the deep end, I need you to do something uncomfortable. Grab a pen and paper or open that audit spreadsheet I linked in the description below. Do not just watch this as entertainment. If you are watching this, it means you want a different result than the average person. So start by doing what the average person refuses to do. Face the data. We are going to categorize your entire financial life into 5 distinct levels. These aren't just arbitrary tiers based on how much cash you have sitting in a savings account. Each level represents a behavioral package, a set of habits, risks, and systems that dictate your outcome. Your score isn't just a number, it is a reflection of the cold, hard reality that your bank manager will never tell you. Let's start at level 1, the Social Security abyss. This is the danger zone. If your net worth is near zero or you're living paycheck to paycheck, you are here. At this stage, your retirement plan is essentially hoping that the government or your family will keep you afloat. You have no investment portfolio, no liquid safety net, and every minor crisis, a broken car or a surprise medical bill, becomes a catastrophic debt event. People in this tier aren't necessarily poor by government definitions, but they are living in a state of chronic financial precarity. The cause? It's rarely about the salary. It's about the lack of early habits and the cycle of pulling from future savings to pay for today's emergencies. Level 2 is the paycheck to pension trap. This is where most people end up. You have a house, you have a small retirement account, but you are still counting every cent. You have the assets, but you lack the freedom. If your roof needs repair, you feel the pain. If you want to take a real vacation, you have to weigh it against your savings. The biggest silent killer here is the hidden cost of aging, specifically healthcare. Most people underestimate this by hundreds of thousands of dollars, and by the time they realize it, their liquidity has already evaporated. Level 3 is where things shift. This is comfortable retirement. You have enough to sleep at night. You don't fear the market swings, and you can support your family without panic. You reach this not by being a stock market genius, but by automating 15 to 20% of your income into low-cost index funds for decades. But then we hit level 4, work optional. This is the top 10%. Here, you no longer ask, can I afford this? You ask, is this how I want to spend my time? It's a shift from survival to purpose. And finally, level 5, generational wealth. This is for the 1%. Your money makes more money than you ever did.
You are no longer trading your hours for dollars. You own the infrastructure, the businesses, the properties, the equity that runs even when you are sleeping. Notice the pattern here. The jump from level 1 to level 5 isn't a salary raise. It is a fundamental change in how you treat your capital. It is the difference between being a consumer of your income and being an owner of your future. You need to identify your level now, because until you know exactly where you are, you have no business trying to get anywhere else. Be honest with your score. The The truth hurts, but it is the only thing that can actually set you free. Once you've calculated your standing, we're going to look at the behavioral traps that keep most people locked in the lower tiers, no matter how hard they work. Now here is where most people get it wrong. They look at these levels and think, I make 6 figures, so I must be at level 4. You are wrong. Income is not wealth. Income is just a tool, and if you are using that tool to build a monument to your own ego rather than a fortress for your future, you are losing. Let's talk about the trap that keeps high earners trapped in level 2 or even level 1. It's called lifestyle creep. You get a promotion, you get a bonus, and suddenly that sensible sedan doesn't feel like enough. You need the luxury SUV. You need the brand new kitchen. You need to join the club where you feel you belong. Suddenly, your expenses have climbed to meet your new income, and you are exactly as broke as you were when you earned half as much. This is the high earner, poor net worth paradox. I have seen surgeons and corporate lawyers with massive incomes who are one bad month away from total collapse because they have zero liquidity and maximum overhead. The twist? Being wealthy has nothing to do with what you show the world. It's about the freedom you have behind closed doors. At level 2, you are essentially a glorified employee, even if you are a high earner. You are trapped because your lifestyle has become a prisoner of your paycheck. If you stopped working tomorrow, your wealth would vanish in 6 months. That is not wealth. That is high-maintenance survival. Look at the contrast. I have seen project managers at level 4 who earn a fraction of what those successful corporate types make, yet they are significantly wealthier. Why? Because they understood that every dollar saved is a dollar that buys them future time. They didn't upgrade their life when their salary upgraded. They kept their cost of living flat and channeled the difference into tax-advantaged accounts and assets that actually appreciate. While the high earners were busy financing a lifestyle they couldn't afford, the level 4 crowd was buying their freedom. You might think, well, I deserve to enjoy my money, and you do. But understand the trade-off. Every dollar you spend on a status symbol today is a dollar you are taking away from your future self. At level 2, you are essentially stealing from your own retirement to pay for your current image. That is the fundamental disconnect. And don't get me started on debt. Bringing debt into your retirement is the fastest way to drop from level 3 back into the abyss. When you are 55 or 60, the last thing you want is a mortgage or high-interest credit card debt eating into your monthly cash flow. Debt is a liability that turns your retirement into a constant state of anxiety. If you are financing a life you can't pay cash for, you aren't building a future, you are building a house of cards. The reality is, most of you aren't limited by your income. You are limited by your inability to differentiate between want and need. You are limited by the fear of looking like you aren't making it. But here's the secret that level 5 people know. True wealth is invisible. It's not the car in the driveway. It's the fact that you don't have to wake up on Monday morning and do something you hate just to pay for that car. So look at your audit spreadsheet again. Where are you bleeding? Are you truly investing in your level 4 future, or are you just funding your current level 2 status? Be brutal. If you don't cut the rot now, it will grow until it consumes your entire retirement. In the next section, we're going to look at the math that turns these behaviors into actual freedom, and why the timing of your investments matters just as much as the amount. Stay with me, because this is where the game gets real. Now that you've faced the reality of your habits, we need to talk about the math that actually dictates whether you survive retirement or thrive in it. Most financial gurus will tell you to just hit a magic number like $2 million and call it a day. That is dangerous advice.
Why? Because of something called the sequence of returns risk. Imagine you retire on the exact day the market crashes. If you are withdrawing funds to live on while your portfolio is down 30%, you are forced to sell assets at a loss. You are cannibalizing your future capital when it is at its weakest. This is why having a big pile of money isn't enough. You need a system that manages the flow of cash regardless of what the market does. You don't just need a nest egg, you need an income-generating machine that is resilient to volatility. This leads us to the income replacement ratio. Forget the total net worth for a second. Ask yourself, if you stopped working today, what percentage of your current lifestyle could you actually maintain? Most experts suggest you need about 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income. But if you have high debt, bad healthcare planning, or zero tax-efficient accounts, that percentage drops and your standard of living crashes with it. But let's get into the psychology of why you haven't fixed this yet. Why do we keep delaying? It comes down to a battle inside your own brain. Every time you pull out your credit card to buy something you don't need, you are choosing immediate pain relief. You're effectively paying a premium to feel good for 5 minutes. On the flip side, when you invest that same money into an index fund, you are choosing delayed gratification. Your brain is literally wired to reject the delayed reward because it cannot see the future version of you. It treats your future self like a stranger. But the truth is, your future self is not a stranger. It is you. And it is the only person who will be there when the career is over and the health starts to decline. The procrastination you feel is just a biological glitch, a relic of an evolutionary past that didn't prepare us for long-term compound interest. The successful people, the level 4 and 5 ones, have learned to hack this glitch. They don't rely on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource that runs out by the end of a long workday. Instead, they rely on automation. They pay themselves first automatically before they ever see the money in their checking account. They have made the right decision, the easy decision. If you want to move up these levels, you have to stop trying to be a disciplined saver and start being a systems architect. Stop fighting your own psychology and start building a structure that renders your bad habits irrelevant. Does it require effort? Yes. Is it uncomfortable? Absolutely. But the alternative is sitting in that coffee shop 20 years from now, looking at a balance that can't sustain you, and realizing that the only thing standing between you and that reality was your own reluctance to act today. The math is clear. The psychology is understood. The tools are right in front of you. The only remaining variable is your intent. You know the levels, you know the traps, and you know the math. So, where are you going to stand when the clock runs out? Because the future isn't something that happens to you, it is something you are building every single day with every single dollar. There are no shortcuts to financial independence. There's no magic pill, and there is no sudden leap from the bottom to the top. There is only the quiet, relentless power of discipline. You have seen the map, you know the traps, and you understand the math. Whether you're at level 1 or aiming for level 5, the path forward is built on the same foundation: consistent habits, automated systems, and a long-term mindset. Don't let the distance to your goal paralyze you. Whatever level you're at today, remember that the most critical step isn't the final one, it's the one you take right now. It is never too late to pivot, never too late to optimize your assets, and never too late to take control of the machine that will fund your future. So, I have to ask, after doing the audit, what level are you really at? Does that number make you feel secure, or does it keep you up at night? Be honest with yourself and drop your level in the comments below. Let's see where this community stands. If you're ready to take that next step and want to stop guessing about your retirement, I've put that audit spreadsheet I mentioned in the description. Download it, run your numbers, and start building your system today. Thank you for watching. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and start building the future you actually deserve. See you in the next one.